US Open tennis commentary highlights 5 matches. Yuri the Hecker with a serve to the centre and Thomas Etcheverry backhand and Yuri the Hecker forehand to the right and Thomas Etcheverry backhand and Yuri the Hecker backhand volley to the right and Thomas Etcheverry with a backhand slice passing shot to the right and it's a winner. Yuri the Hecker serve to the left and backhand and Thomas Etcheverry forehand to the right and Yuri the Hecker backhand to the left and Thomas Etcheverry backhand slice to the right, and Yuri the Hecker backhand to left and Thomas Etcheverry backhand slice to the centre. Set to Thomas Etcheverry. Yuri the Hecker serve to the left and Thomas Etcheverry backhand slice, and Yuri the Hecker forehand to the left and Thomas Etcheverry backhand slice to the centre, and Yuri the Hecker forehand volley to the right, and it's a winner. Yuri the Hecker with a serve to the centre and Thomas Etcheverry backhand and Yuri the Hecker forehand to the right. Set to Yuri the Hecker. Thomas Etcheverry serve to the centre and Yuri the Hecker backhand and Thomas Etcheverry forehand and Yuri the Hecker backhand and forehand to forehand a bit and Thomas Etcheverry backhand and Yuri the Hecker forehand to the right and Thomas Etcheverry backhand drop shot to the right and Yuri the Hecker with a forehand to the right and it's a winner. Yuri the Hecker with a serve to the centre and it's set to Yuri the Hecker. Thomas Etcheverry with a serve to the centre and Yuri the Hecker backhand slice to the centre and forehand to forehand and Thomas Etcheverry forehand volley to the right and it's a winner. Yuri the Hecker with a serve to the centre and Thomas Etcheverry backhand to the centre and Yuri the Hecker strikes a forehand to the left and it's a winner. Yuri the Hecker 3-6 6-0 6-2 6-4. João Fonseca with a serve to the centre of the box and forehand to forehand a bit, and Thomas Machak backhand and João Fonseca backhand volley, and Thomas Machak forehand and João Fonseca forehand volley to the right, and Thomas Machak backhand and João Fonseca forehand volley, and Thomas Machak forehand slice passing shot to the left, and it's a winner. João Fonseca with a centre of the box serve, and Thomas Machak strikes a backhand to left and backhand slice to backhand slice a bit, and backhand to backhand, and Thomas Machak forehand to the left, and João Fonseca strikes a backhand to the right, and it's a winner. Thomas Machak with a serve, and João Fonseca with a forehand slice, and Thomas Machak forehand, and João Fonseca backhand, and Thomas Machak with a backhand volley to the right, and João Fonseca strikes a backhand passing shot to the right, and it's a winner. Thomas Machak with a serve to the centre and backhand to backhand a bit, and João Fonseca backhand slice, and Thomas Machak forehand volley to left, and it's a winner. Set to Thomas Machak. Thomas Machak with a serve to the left and forehand to forehand, and João Fonseca forehand slice, and Thomas Machak strikes a forehand to the left, and João Fonseca forehand slice, and Thomas Machak backhand volley to the right, and it's a winner. João Fonseca with a serve, and Thomas Machak strikes a forehand to the left, set to Thomas Machak. João Fonseca with a serve and Thomas Machak backhand, and João Fonseca forehand and Thomas Machak backhand to the left, and João Fonseca forehand and Thomas Machak forehand volley, and it's a winner. Thomas Machak with a serve and forehand to forehand and backhand to backhand a bit, and Thomas Machak strikes a forehand to the left, and João Fonseca backhand, and Thomas Machak forehand volley to the right, and João Fonseca forehand slice, and Thomas Machak forehand volley to the left, and it's a winner. Thomas Machak 7-6, 6-2, 6-3. Moyuka Uchijima with a serve to the centre and forehand to forehand a bit, and Barbora Krejcikova strikes a backhand to the right, and Moyuka Uchijima backhand slice, and Barbora Krejcikova strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. Barbora Krejcikova with a serve to the centre, and Moyuka Uchijima backhand and forehand to forehand, and Barbora Krejcikova backhand slice to the centre, and Moyuka Uchijima strikes a forehand to the right, and Barbora Krejcikova backhand slice to the left, and Moyuka Uchijima strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. Barbora Krejcikova with a serve to the centre, and Moyuka Uchijima forehand slice, and Barbora Krejcikova forehand to the right, and Moyuka Uchijima backhand, and Barbora Krejcikova forehand volley to the left, and it's a winner. Barbora Krejcikova serve to the centre, and Moriko Tajima backhand slice, and Barbora Krejcikova forehand to the right, and Moriko Tajima backhand, and Barbora Krejcikova forehand volley to the left, and it's a winner. Barbora Krejcikova serve to left, and it's set to Barbora Krejcikova, 6-4. Moriko Tajima serve to centre, and Barbora Krejcikova forehand slice to centre, and Moriko Tajima forehand to left, and Barbora Krejcikova backhand to the centre, and Moriko Tajima forehand to the left, and Barbora Krejcikova backhand to centre, and forehand to forehand, and Moriko Tajima backhand to centre, and Barbora Krejcikova forehand to centre, and Moriko Tajima backhand, and Barbora Krejcikova forehand and backhand to backhand, and Moriko Tajima backhand slice, and Barbora Krejcikova strikes a backhand to the left, and Moriko Tajima forehand slice, and Barbora Krejcikova strikes a forehand to the right, and it's a winner. Barbora Krejcikova serve to the centre, and Moriko Tajima backhand to the centre, and Barbora Krejcikova forehand to the left, and Moriko Tajima backhand to the left, and forehand to forehand a bit, and Moriko Tajima backhand slice, and Barbora Krejcikova strikes a forehand to the right, and it's a winner. Barbora Krejcikova serve to the left, Barbora Krejcikova 6-4, 6-2. McCartney Kessler with a serve to the left, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand slice, and McCartney Kessler backhand to the right, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand slice to the centre, and McCartney Kessler forehand to the right, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand, and McCartney Kessler forehand to the right, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand, and McCartney Kessler forehand, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand drop shot to left, and McCartney Kessler forehand slice left, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand slice, and McCartney Kessler forehand shot, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand slice, and backhand to backhand, and McCartney Kessler forehand drop shot to the left, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand slice to the left, and it's a winner. Marketa Vondrousova reserve, and backhand to backhand, and McCartney Kessler forehand to the left, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand to the centre, and McCartney Kessler forehand to left, and backhand to backhand, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand, and backhand to backhand, and McCartney Kessler forehand to left, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand to the right, and McCartney Kessler forehand drop shot to left, and it's a winner. McCartney Kessler reserve to the centre of the box, and backhand to backhand, set to Marketa Vondrousova, 7-6. Marketa Vondrousova reserve to the centre, and McCartney Kessler forehand slice to the right, and backhand to backhand a bit, and McCartney Kessler forehand to the right, and backhand to backhand, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand to the right, and McCartney Kessler backhand to the left, and Marketa Vondrousova strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. Marketa Vondrousova with a centre of the box serve, and McCartney Kessler forehand slice to the right, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand to the left, and forehand to forehand, and McCartney Kessler backhand to the left, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand, and McCartney Kessler backhand, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand, and McCartney Kessler backhand, and forehand to forehand, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand, and McCartney Kessler forehand to the right, and backhand to backhand, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand slice. McCartney Kessler forehand to the left, and Marketa Vondrousova forehand slice, and McCartney Kessler forehand drop shot to the left, and it's a winner. McCartney Kessler over centre of the box serve, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand, and McCartney Kessler forehand to the right, and Marketa Vondrousova backhand to the left. Marketa Vondrousova 7-6, 6-2. Sorana Krustea with a centre of the box serve, and Karolina Muchova backhand, and Sorana Krustea strikes a forehand to the left, and Karolina Muchova backhand slice, and Sorana Krustea strikes a forehand to the centre, and it's a winner. Sorana Krustea reserve, and backhand to backhand, and forehand to forehand a bit, and Karolina Muchova strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. Sorana Krustea serve to the right, and Karolina Muchova backhand slice to the right, and forehand to forehand, and Sorana Krustea backhand volley to the right, and Karolina Muchova with a backhand slice to the left, and it's a winner. Karolina Muchova serve to the left, set to Karolina Muchova, 7-6. Sorana Krustea with a serve, and backhand to backhand a bit, and Sorana Krustea strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. Sorana Krustea with a serve to the right, and Karolina Muchova with a backhand slice, and Sorana Krustea forehand to the right, and Karolina Muchova backhand, and Sorana Krustea forehand volley to the left, and Karolina Muchova forehand slice to the left, and Sorana Krustea backhand volley to the centre, and it's a winner. Sorana Krustea with a centre of the box serve, and Karolina Muchova backhand, and Sorana Krustea forehand to the left, and backhand to backhand, and Sorana Krustea forehand to left, and backhand to backhand, Set to Sorana Cristea, 7-6. Karolina Muchova, the centre of the box serve, and forehand to forehand a bit. And Karolina Muchova strikes a forehand to the right, and it's a winner. Sorana Cristea with a serve to the left, and Karolina Muchova forehand, and backhand to backhand, and forehand to forehand. And Sorana Cristea backhand volley to the right, and it's a winner. Karolina Muchova with a serve to the centre. Karolina Muchova, 7-6, 6-7, 6-4.